What's good, y'all? I'm dealing with a number of really weird internet issues. And so that's why I'm coming to y'all so late. Welcome back to the live stream. Last couple of weeks, we've been doing the camera confidence course, and I really hope you guys got something out of it because it's really about getting you confident and comfortable on camera. Because a lot of times, the biggest hurdle to getting you recording is actually you. It's your own mind. Your own mind is playing tricks on you. And making you believe things that aren't true, making you believe that you have limitations that you really don't have. And so a lot of it is navigating the confidence to be on camera. So now that we've moved past that, I'm on to the next thing. And for me, I told you guys that the media room is going live. And what that means is we actually have a location. Um, and we're going to be building this thing out. And so now the camera confidence course is over. I'm going to be including that as a workshop um, when I launch. But now here's the real work. We're going to build a content studio from scratch, and you guys are going to watch me. And so for the next couple of months, I'm documenting the journey. You'll see the wins, the losses, the numbers, the systems, all that stuff. And but that's not, I need to make it about y'all and not just about what I'm doing. Um, and so the reason why I want to talk about this next issue is because I think it's another artificial barrier that a lot of people put on themselves. Um, and here's the thing. And I mentioned this. I have a video talking about it. Nobody wants to see your ad. Nobody wants to see your commercial. People aren't moved to watch your commercial. They're not inspired to sit down and watch a commercial. They don't get excited about it. They don't get hyped about it or anything along those lines. Nobody wants to see your commercial. What they do want to see is content that informs them or educates them or entertains them, or any combination of the three. Um, and a lot of this comes down to the fact that a lot of people think, but before they start recording content, they need to go out and buy an expensive camera and get things started. And so I'm very intentional about what I'm doing today. Uh, right now, I have a webcam that I'm recording on. You may be able to tell, you may not. Depends on what your eye is and how your eye works on this stuff. I have a webcam that I purchased, and that's what I'm using to record this. It's a webcam and this mic that you see right here. I do have more expensive cameras in my kit, and I can use those whenever I need to. But I want to kind of explain to y'all and show y'all that you don't really need the highest end equipment to get started. Again, I got a webcam and a USB mic, and that's what I'm starting with. Okay. Everything else that you see is lighting. Okay. Tweaking the settings a little bit on the webcam, but a lot of this other stuff is lighting. And so if it doesn't necessarily look like a webcam to you, it's because I know how to use my light. And I know how to use light to kind of sculpt the picture that I want on camera. Uh, so there's a very specific reason why I'm using a webcam this week is to show you that you don't need the highest production quality when you're making your content. More times than not, the thing that's going to connect is content that solves a problem for somebody. And like I said, nobody wants to see your commercial. And right now, we're in the social media age where if it looks overly produced and it starts looking like an ad, people will scroll right past it. The things that they look at is stuff that looks like you shot it. It's called user generated content. Things that you posted yourself, things that you recorded, produced, mastered, and all the other stuff, and put online yourself. Okay. And so great content doesn't necessarily require this Hollywood level of production like you think it did. Okay. So we're going to go back a little bit. Um, like I said, camera confidence is done. And for the last couple of weeks, we've been working on the psychological and physical barriers to keep you from recording. You sat with the lens, you spoke without seeing yourself, you remove the judgment side of things so that you're not judging yourself while you're on camera. And you've hopefully you've posted some videos. Like really, this is to get you in the habit of building the muscle of posting the video because you can read about lifting weights all you want to until you actually get in there and start moving iron. It doesn't mean anything. You have a lot of knowledge about the process without any repetitions without any repetitions to actually build the muscle memory or the muscle or the strength. And so all this is kind of a moot point if you don't start recording yourself. And so you can consume all the videos you want about lighting and mics and cameras and all this stuff. It don't mean anything until you start recording. And so hopefully you guys started recording yourself. Um, and that's really what it is. So now we're moving into something different. So for the next couple of months, I'm going to actually be building out my studio, which is going to be called the Media Room. It's a content studio for business owners, and I'm documenting this process in public. Okay. So what you're going to see is next week, I'll be talking about my client acquisition strategy. And if you want to be a client, how you can get in touch with me. And the systems that I'm going to be building to bring in clients, because it's not enough for me to make a post and get a bunch of people interested. I have to build a system that constantly finds the clients I need and filters them through my process. Again, this first part is about business owners. And I want to teach business owners how to really start recording. Hey, how's it going? How you doing? This first part is about business owners. I want to teach business owners how to start recording themselves. And so you're going to get a chance to see how I set the system in place to attract the clients that I want. Okay. And a lot of this is content based. And so that's why you're seeing me on live streams and things along those lines, because regardless of how many people are watching the live streams, these things get repurposed and used on my social media to push what I need. Okay. And so you're going to see what's working and what's not. And as I get a little bit more up and running, you're going to see real revenue and real numbers. I'm going to initially plan on bootstrapping this thing, and that's one of my plans. But if I could get somebody to invest, it would be great. But I've bootstrapped multiple other businesses, and I'm really familiar with it. Really familiar with the process, but you're going to get a chance to kind of see what my steps and what my journey is in getting this thing launched. Okay. And so you're going to see the real numbers. You're going to see the time investment. And it's going to be every lesson I learned along the way. Okay. This isn't going to be theory. This isn't a live case. This isn't theory. Like this isn't, this isn't me speculating. You're not going to catch me online on YouTube specifically sitting there talking about business models that I've never done before. And I can't necessarily say that's true for a lot of people who are in the business space on YouTube. There's a lot of people that will sit there and talk about the virtues, extol the virtues of these business models that they've never applied themselves. And it jammed up a lot of people when it came to drop shipping, or selling stuff on Amazon. Because, fulfilled by Amazon, FBA, because they ended up watching these videos and thinking that the person that was talking to them was giving them some insider knowledge. And really, they weren't giving them anything. They're giving them a bunch of speculation. And so you're actually going to see this applied in real time. Okay. The core philosophy of the Media Room is this. I believe that the content is more important than the production value. Now there's going to be levels, there's going to be tiers and everything. Like if you come in to get like a training video done for your business, and that's where we're going to up the quality a little bit. You're going to see a little bit more cinematic looking. I hate the word cinematic. You're going to see more professional looking setups. But if you're just recording your content, I'm trying to make it look like it's still high end, but it looks like you know what you're doing with your own camera and recording yourself. And so, the problem is the internet has convinced business owners they need a $10,000 studio setup or a $15,000 videographer on set to create content. That's not true. It's really not. Good content is not necessarily about production value. It's about three things. It's about clarity. Can people understand what you're saying? Consistency. Are you showing up regularly? And your message. Do you have something worth saying? And these are the things that are more important than your camera quality. To be honest with you, your sound, the way you sound, is way more important than the visual side of things. People will watch a low quality video with good sound. They will not abide and will not watch they won't watch a great video with terrible sound. It's not how that works. It's not how our brains work. It's not how we consume content, specifically on YouTube. More times than not, you're listening to YouTube as much as you're watching it. Okay. So clarity, consistency, and message. You nail those three things and you on the road to having good content. Okay. And we'll talk about some of the big movers like a Gary Vee. Gary Vee started documenting his stuff with like a whole flip phone. Like there wasn't studio, wasn't any fancy editing, anything. It was just him talking in his office. No $5,000 camera set up in the corner or anything along those lines. If you guys are Alex Hormozi fans, he started in his garage with a light and a camera. And even now, you know, some of his highest performing videos are just him sitting in a room with a webcam, which you could tell is a webcam. It's not well lit or anything, but the message is more important than the visual side of things. A lot of the top creators on YouTube use their phone's front camera and some natural light. Like they don't even need a major setup. Okay. Production value is a distraction that ends up trapping a lot of people. It's what people hide behind when they're afraid to actually create compelling videos. Okay. And so the media room isn't about Hollywood style commercials. All right. The media room is about capturing expertise in a way that is consistent and valuable to people. That's really what I care about. That's where my North Star is. Okay. And so what the media room actually does, and this is the grand vision here. It's going to be it's going to be a professional setup, so you don't have to think about lighting, framing, or audio. It's going to be a guided conversation, so you don't necessarily need a script. We're going to try to work with speed, but also you're getting video production. You're actually getting coaching. I'm trying to teach you how to do this stuff yourself, how to think like a video marketer. Okay. And so there's going to be a lot of teaching that goes into it. Okay. And that's really what the mix is. It's going to be a mix of the production, but then also the education side of things, so that I can teach you how to be proficient on camera and how to be self-sufficient so you can make your own stuff if you ever want to. Okay. Your message matters more than the production value, and that's the bottom line. Okay. So right now, I have my beta offer that's out there, and I'm trying to get some people in the front door so we can launch this thing the right way. And so if this is something you're interested in, if you're interested in the combo of strategy, consulting, video production, the education side of things, I got a couple of offers to get started. The very first offer, and this is going to be super, super limited. Okay. Discounting this in exchange for feedback if you're a business owner. The original offer is going to be $750. And what you get for that $750 is one professionally shot video, fully edited, and some vertical videos for you to use to push your product. Okay. And you're going to have two options. One's going to be the secret origin story. Since I'm a nerd, I love secret origins. That's going to be your hero's journey, how you got to where you got. You know, how'd you launch your business, the story, the origin behind your business. The next video is going to be secret sauce. What do you do differently? What is your unique approach? Okay. These are the two options that we're going to have. Okay. I'm going to be trying to take on about 5 beta clients in exchange for feedback. You know, if you're getting the discount in exchange for feedback, because I'm really trying to work out my system, my client system for this studio, because I've done studios before, but this is something that's kind of unique because I've never been in the seat of videographer and strategist at the same time, and educator at the same time, I should say. Okay. And so I'm looking to take on 5 beta clients this week, this week, not just this month. I'm looking at adding 5 beta clients this week. And I need real world feedback so I can get the systems in place before I scale this thing. Like I said, I'm building the media room in public. You're going to see me build my content studio in public. And if you want to be part of it, you know, I will attach the link and you'll see a way to sign up. Okay. I'm documenting everything in the school community, in my paid community. Okay. So if you want the behind the scenes strategy, that's where it's going to live. Okay. And so we're going to do the assignment here. This is what the assignment is. This is what I want you guys to work on for this week. Okay. I want you to document your own journey. And it doesn't have to be anything as grand as building a business or anything. I want you to start documenting what you do on a day-to-day basis. Okay. Not polished, not perfect. Just be real. Just be honest about what you do. Okay. And I want you to record one video this week answering this question. What's the one thing I'm working on right now that's harder than I expected? Okay. So we're starting documenting our journey. The video for this week is what's the one thing I'm working on that's harder than I expected? Okay. 60 seconds or less, no script, no editing, post it in the community. That's the assignment. Whatever community you're viewing this in, that's your assignment. Okay. Um, for the paid community, I want you to kind of beef it up a little bit. I want you to record 3 videos this week, each answering these questions. What's the one thing I'm working on right now that's harder than I expected? Um, what's one lesson I learned this week that I did not see coming? And the third one is, what's one thing I'm doing differently than most people in my industry? Again, 60 seconds each, no script, no editing. Post all 3 in the community. Now, if you're in the free community and you want the extra credit, you want to go above and beyond, you absolutely can do any one of those. You can do any one of those 3 videos or all 3. Okay. After your third video, I want you to think about this question. What is the biggest shift you noticed in your own thinking after recording these videos? Okay. The reason why we like cameras is cameras force you to be concise. It force you to be clear. Even if your message is muddy in your brain, it forces clarity on you because you're trying to convey it to an audience. Okay. So the reason why all this matters is because documenting your journey is the fastest way to build trust and authority. People don't want polished commercials. They want to see the real process. All right. They don't want to see the end result. They want to see how the sausage is made. And this week we're going to practice that. Okay. So if you want to follow the Media Room journey for the next couple of months, join the school community. There's a cost associated with it. But I'm using that to try to filter. Oh, actually, I think it's free right now. So I have it for free right now if you want to join. I'm going to be shutting that down here in the next week or two. But you're going to get a chance to see me build the studio in real time. Okay. If you want behind the scenes numbers and all the other stuff, you're going to see it there before I lock it back up. All right. So if you want to get in on the ground floor and kind of see and follow my journey, that's where you can find me. You're going to see the link in the description for the Media Room School community. Okay. If you're a business owner who wants to skip a lot of the headache, and just have your content done for you and learn some of the process, the Media Room beta offer is going to be in the comments, and you're going to see that. I'll put the website up there so that you can absolutely book a time and we could start the process. All right. Again, I'm offering that discount, that drastic discount to services in exchange for feedback. Okay. All right. So anyway, that's really what I got, y'all. I do appreciate y'all's time. It's been a rough week. I had to bury my father-in-law last week, and so we're still trying to get our heads around everything. And so I'm here and I'm present, and I'm trying to get back to the grind. So I do appreciate y'all tuning in. Thanks for tuning in. This has been the Media Room with Brian. Follow me on my journey, and hopefully you guys can pick up something that you can use. I will talk to y'all later. Be easy. Have a great week. I'm gonna be popping in before the end of this week. Peace.